You've decided. Not thinking about it decided. Not wouldn't it be nice decided. You're actually leaving the race. And the second that decision stops being a fantasy and starts being real, everything about how you prepare has to change. Because here's the truth nobody puts in the highlight reel. A flex quits when it feels good. A requirement quits when the numbers are ready and the identity is ready. Because if you get this wrong, there's no cinematic comeback. There's just you, out of runway, explaining a resume gap. So if this is real for you, not content, not a vibe, an actual requirement, here's what has to be true before you go. 1. You know your number. Not your guess. Your number. Every flex leaves with a rough idea of what they need. Every requirement leaves knowing the exact monthly cost of their life, multiplied by however many months of runway they actually need to survive without income. If you can't say that number out loud right now, you're not preparing to leave. You're preparing to panic in a few months and call it an adventure. 2. The cushion already exists. Not in progress. Exists. 6 to 12 months of that number, sitting in an account before you hand in anything. A cushion built for exit means it's there before you need it, not something you're still building while you're already falling. If you're telling yourself, I'll save the rest after I quit, that's not a plan. That's hope wearing a spreadsheet. 3. You have receipts, not intentions. This is where most people fool themselves. A good idea feels like evidence. It isn't. Real evidence is paying customers. Sign contracts. Revenue that repeats for 3 to 6 months in a row without you forcing it. If your alternative has never made $1 without your direct, constant push, it's not tested yet. It's still a hypothesis. 4. Your identity already left before your job did. If losing this paycheck would also mean losing your sense of who you are, that's not freedom you're walking toward. That's just the same risk in a different building. Do the identity work now, while you're still employed, and it's cheap to be wrong. I do this job has to fully separate from I am this job before the exit, not after. 5. You've already replaced what the job was quietly covering. Health insurance, taxes, retirement. These don't pause because you got inspired on a Tuesday. If you don't know exactly what replaces them and what it costs, in writing, in numbers, you haven't actually planned an exit. You've planned a surprise for future you. 6. You've talked to people who already did this, not people who are also dreaming about it. 3 to 5 real conversations. People 1 or 2 years past their own exit. Ask what they didn't see coming, not what went right. The highlight reel already lied to you once. Don't let it happen twice. 7. You have a trigger, not a feeling. I'll leave when it feels right, is how flexes stay flexes forever, because that feeling never fully arrives. A requirement has a condition. This revenue, for this many months, then go. A number doesn't get talked out of itself the way a feeling does. 8. You're already known for the new thing before you've left the old one. The network, the reputation, the person people call for the new lane. That has to start now, while you're still employed, and it's low stakes to be seen experimenting. Waiting until after you've left to start building this means walking into silence on day 1. 9. You have a return plan you never planned to use. What does going back look like if this doesn't work in 12 to 18 months? Not as a defeat you're quietly rooting for, as the insurance that makes the whole leap less reckless in the first place. The people who leave without any version of a return plan aren't being brave. They're just not looking down. 10. You have a date. An actual date. Not someday. Not when things settle down. A month on a calendar that you're working backward from right now. A requirement has a deadline attached to it. Everything without a date attached is still just a flex, no matter how convinced you are that it's more than that. A flex is built on hope. A requirement is built on a spreadsheet and a calendar. If you can point to your number, your evidence, and your date, right now, without flinching, you're not dreaming anymore. You're planning. And that's the only version of I'm leaving the rat race that actually survives contact with real life.